Imagine a bird born inside a golden cage. It has food every day, no predators, no storms, no struggle, yet it never learns to fly. Now imagine another bird, raised beneath an open sky. Every meal must be earned. Every storm is survived. Every flight is a lesson. Which bird is truly free? For thousands of years, humanity believed something that sounds almost impossible today. The greatest danger wasn't pain. It was comfort. Modern society teaches us to eliminate discomfort whenever possible. We automate effort. We avoid boredom. We escape silence. We chase convenience as if it were the highest achievement of civilization. Yet across nearly every ancient culture, from Greek philosophers and Roman Stoics to Buddhist monks, desert hermits, and indigenous hunters, a completely different message appears. Comfort is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master, because the human mind wasn't designed to grow inside perfect conditions. It was designed to adapt. Every generation before us understood this instinctively. Life itself taught them. Winter arrived without asking permission. Food wasn't guaranteed. Predators didn't care about feelings. Survival demanded movement, courage, patience, and resilience. Those weren't motivational slogans. They were requirements. Consider the Spartans. History often remembers them only as warriors. But their real philosophy wasn't about violence. It was about resisting comfort before comfort could weaken character. Children learned discipline through hardship. Adults embraced voluntary discomfort. Cold, heat, hunger, long marches, simple living. The goal wasn't suffering for its own sake. The goal was freedom. Because if your happiness depends entirely on comfort, then anyone who controls your comfort controls you. A king can take your wealth. A storm can destroy your home. An illness can steal your strength. But if you've learned to remain steady without luxury, you've become remarkably difficult to break. That lesson echoes far beyond ancient Sparta. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus was born a slave. He owned almost nothing. Yet he argued that the strongest person isn't the one who possesses the most. It's the one who needs the least. Psychology has quietly rediscovered what ancient wisdom already suspected. The brain is incredibly adaptable. When life improves, our expectations rise with it. What once felt extraordinary quickly becomes normal. Scientists call this hedonic adaptation. Ancient philosophers simply called it attachment. The bigger the palace becomes, the more terrified its owner becomes of losing it. The softer the bed, the harder it becomes to sleep somewhere else. The easier life gets, the less prepared we often become for life's unavoidable difficulties. It's like a tree raised inside a greenhouse, protected from every wind, watered every day, perfect conditions, until one day it's planted outside. The first real storm snaps branches that never learn to bend. Strength isn't built after the storm arrives. It's built before. There is an old story told in different forms across many traditions. A young man searched for the wisest elder in the mountains. After weeks of climbing, he finally found an old hermit living inside a tiny stone shelter. The young traveler expected hidden treasures, ancient scrolls, perhaps even magical knowledge. Instead, he found almost nothing. One blanket, one bowl, one walking stick. Unable to hide his disappointment, the traveler asked, "Where are all your possessions?" The old man smiled. "Where are yours?" "I'm only passing through," the traveler replied. "So am I," the old man answered. That single conversation contains a truth many spend an entire lifetime avoiding. Much of what we desperately cling to is temporary. We spend enormous energy protecting things that were never meant to stay. Ancient wisdom didn't reject possessions. It rejected becoming possessed by them. Our ancestors understood another secret. Discomfort creates awareness. When you walk barefoot across uneven ground, every step matters. When water must be carried from a river, every drop has value. When food requires hours of effort, gratitude appears naturally. Convenience often removes friction, but it can also remove appreciation. Think about fire. For ancient humans, gathering would demanded patience. Lighting flames required skill. The fire became sacred because survival depended on it. Today we flip a switch without thinking. Technology has made life easier. That is an extraordinary achievement. But easier doesn't automatically mean more meaningful. Meaning usually hides behind effort. Not because effort is magical, because effort changes us. Perhaps the greatest misunderstanding about comfort is believing it's the opposite of happiness. It isn't. Comfort and happiness are not the same thing. Comfort feels safe. Purpose often feels difficult. Growth feels uncomfortable. Love requires vulnerability. Forgiveness demands humility. Learning invites failure. Every meaningful transformation begins where certainty ends. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly by protecting its old form. A river doesn't reach the ocean by refusing obstacles. Even muscles become weaker without resistance. Nature repeats the same lesson everywhere. Life grows through challenge, not despite it. This doesn't mean you should reject modern life. Ancient wisdom was never asking us to glorify suffering. It was asking us to remember what struggle gives us: discipline, perspective, gratitude, courage. The next time life becomes uncomfortable, pause before wishing it away. Ask yourself whether this moment is breaking you or building a version of you that comfort never could. Because perhaps the greatest prison isn't made of iron bars. It's made of endless convenience. And perhaps true freedom begins the moment you discover that the strongest person isn't the one living the easiest life, but the one who can walk through both comfort and hardship without becoming a slave to either.